So we are coming to the end of our cruise, sadly. It's the last sea day today and we are just packing, so we thought we would do a wrap-up video to share with you things that we really like about this cruise ship and things that we don't like so much. So let's start with our stateroom, which is an infinity veranda stateroom. James, what do you like and dislike about this room?
Especially for cold weather cruises, I think it's really good because at least then you get floor to ceiling windows. What I do dislike about it is if you do open the window, the air conditioner will switch off. So if you're in a hot weather cruise, that could pose an issue. So it's all or nothing with regards to either you're going to have a steaming hot cabin, or if you're in a cold weather cruise, a really cold cabin.
Yeah, I think the concept of it is really good. I don't think it doesn't feel that different to having a normal balcony cabin. And like I say, you've got floor to ceiling windows, but it's been a fairly chilly cruise, so we haven't had the window open that much, just to record some sailorways, which you'll have seen. So we really like it, and of course it means that the cabin feels bigger than a typical cabin. The other thing that's really nice about this cabin is the bathroom, right? Which is
Aqua class, which is
so it's got
slightly different shower head.
Yeah, but just the fact that it's got a fairly big bathroom, it's got a big shower cabinet, nice toiletries, and yeah, the cabin is really modern. We haven't watched TV at all except for looking at where we're at, which is on TV right now. For navigation, the cabin attendant has been super fantastic and really helpful. When we arrived, there wasn't any coffee or milk, so he went and got that, and he's always got a smile on his face. I think that's another huge plus about this cruise, right? It's the staff. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, all the staff we've come into contact with always got a smile on their face, willing to help, always asking how we're doing. Some of them even know us by name, and they stop you when you're walking through Ocean View Cafe at lunchtime. They're, oh, hi, how are you? And start having a chat. So yeah, honestly, the staff on board are the best.
Yeah, and it's such a stark contrast to the P&O cruise that we did last year, where the staff felt really overworked and it felt like there weren't enough staff on the cruise ship, so they weren't particularly smiley and happy. Maybe we're a year on from, getting away from the pandemic, so it's changed, but certainly the staff on this cruise have been fantastic, which has always been our experience with Celebrity, so it's definitely our preferred cruise line. Let's talk about the food and the restaurants next. What do you think about that?
Food, brilliant. Nothing to complain about. Portions are small, but at least you never walk away feeling stuffed. If you're still hungry, you can have as many appetizers or main courses as you want, or even go up to the Ocean View Cafe and have lots of pizza. We did that one night, we were very drunk. Yeah, nothing to complain about that. Everything I've eaten has been brilliant.
Yeah, we've eaten in Blue every night because we are in Aqua class, and we had one specialty meal in Eden, which you'll have seen in our food review. And to be quite honest, the meal I had last night, which was the filet mignon and a lobster tail in Blue, was better than the food I had in the Eden Cafe. And of course for Eden Cafe we paid, I don't know, it was maybe like £60 each, or $80 each for that. So it was nice because it was different, but it was expensive for what it was. The food in Blue is you've got a lot less choice, although you can ask for meals off the main dining room, but the staff are amazing. We've never queued to get in. They know our seat preference because we've been videoing. We didn't want to be close to other people because obviously we want to respect their privacy, and they've accommodated us to that every single day. And like James said, they learn our names and they know what wine we liked, and so that was really, really good. What about the main dining room? Not the main dining room, the buffet.
Food has been brilliant as well. Again, I've been having salads mostly lunchtime. Great selections of salads, main dishes. Certain times it does get busy. On a sea day, lunchtime, of course it's going to get busy, and the weather's been horrible as well, so everyone's inside. It does get a bit busy. People start sharing tables. But that's only on minor nibble. We turned up at the peak lunchtime session, so it was about to happen. But we've always found a table. All the meals we've had, always kind of like eating, go, nod. So yeah, good food. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you wouldn't necessarily want to eat in the buffet morning, noon, and night every day, because I think they have a few selections that are different each day, but by and large it's the same selections of food. But it is very good, and again, compare that to the limited choice that we had on the Iona P&O Iona last year, and the buffet is so much better. What do you think about Cafe Al Bacio in that whole area, and just grabbing a coffee in the morning?
Um, it can be a bit chaotic. Everybody wants coffee first thing in the morning, um, but they do good coffee and all the included pastries there. Cafe Bacio backs onto the atrium, so it can get very noisy on sea days. Everyone's just sitting there because they can't go outside because of the bad weather. So when you're trying to find a table so you can have a tea or a coffee, it can be a bit challenging. That's great people watching from there, watching everyone going backwards and forwards across. So that always kind of spend an hour or two doing that.
Yeah, we felt like the Cafe Al Bacio area could be bigger, and on the Solstice class ships like Infinity and Equinox, they have the main Cafe Al Bacio area where you get your coffee, but on the other side they had a smaller coffee area to cope with the overflow, which this ship doesn't have. So it feels like they could make that bigger. It also is you're really limited about where you can get good coffee. We think the only places you can get good coffee are at Cafe Al Bacio, and then in the Cafe Al Bacio Secondo, whatever it's called, in the buffet there's another coffee area, and again in the morning that is crazy busy. So because we are towards the back or the aft of the ship, it's quite a long walk in the morning to go and get a coffee and come back to the room, which is what we've done on previous cruises, so we've missed out there. You do get coffee and tea making facilities in your room, but I guess we're a bit snobby because instant coffee isn't really our thing, so we haven't been using that. But you get good coffee there. And obviously if you've got the premium drinks package, we upgraded from, the classic was included, and we upgraded during a sale, so it wasn't that expensive, and it was definitely worth upgrading. What do you think about that?
Yeah, definitely. If it falls within a sale price bracket and you can do it, I would highly recommend it. You don't have to worry about what you buy. Most drinks are up to $20, especially on cruises leaving the UK. There's no additional tax with that amount on there. So when it says $20, that's $20 flat. So yeah, you can then get better bottles of wine, cocktails. Literally, we haven't actually paid for any alcohol whatsoever. No. And yeah, we can. In the dining room, we've chosen a really nice bottle of wine that isn't actually on the menu. It was on the menu in Eden, where we discovered that bottle of wine, and ever since then, when we went to Blue, we said, "Could we have this bottle of wine?" And yeah, the sommelier brings it out as soon as we sit down. He just comes over with a bottle.
I mean, it's crazy, really, that for a glass of that wine, this is a New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc, it's $20 each. I mean, who the hell wants to pay $20 for a glass of wine? Obviously it's included. Now, bear in mind that, as James said, when you leave the UK, the VAT or the tax is already included, and that's why the menu prices look a little bit different, whereas if you're leaving anywhere else, you're going to get a price and then tax added on top. That's why from here it's $20 for the premium package, and I think it's 14, but I'll confirm that below if you haven't got the premium drinks package. It's always worth asking for something if they don't have it on the menu, whether that be a drink that's not on the menu, a bottle of wine, or even food, because they can, for example in Blue, get food from the main dining room menu as well, and so that does kind of extend the menu, because in Blue the menu is fairly limited, but you know, it's stuff that we've enjoyed eating, and we're both quite fussy eaters in terms of we like decent food, and it's definitely been good here. What do you think about the overall ship and like the atrium area and all that stuff?
The overall ship, I love it. I love the decor. I like all the nooks and crannies. It doesn't feel like a giant open shopping mall like the Iona. There's loads of different areas which are kind of cordoned off, but they're still open. So you create different spaces to sit in or move around. The atrium is slightly smaller than any of the other ships I've been on. Not as impressive, although the chandelier above the the martini bar is quite impressive. The martini bar hasn't got a frozen top like all the other classes of celebrity ships, and it's located in the atrium. So when at night the atrium is noisy, it's busy, it's basically the heart of the ship. That's the one thing about this ship, though, it doesn't seem to have like smaller bars around the place. You've got Eden at the back of the ship, which replaces the Constellation Lounge on all the other ones, which is at the front at the top. And now on the Edge class ships, it's at the back under Eden. You've got the Martini Bar, and then you've got
Craft
Sunset Bar, Craft Social.
Yeah.
So there is something there, but most of the bars seem to centre around the atrium or outside or at the back.
Yeah, it feels like it could do with more bars there. I think when the Martini Bar gets busy, it's really noisy and it's hard to get service as well because the poor waiters are being pulled from pillar to post. So we've only actually had one evening where we sat in the Martini Bar, and our favourite place has become Eden because it's not quite so busy. There's a fantastic acoustic guitar singer there, and it's just a nice environment. You can get served more easily. What did you think about the entertainment?
It was good, actually. We've seen a couple of shows which we don't usually sit through the shows. The theatre's amazing. The staging is absolutely fantastic. You can tell where the tech is on the ship. The LEDs in the back of the stage, creating all these different scenes. One thing I would say, if you're coming on this, look out for Caravan. It's put on in the club, which is an alternative venue where they'll have game shows, etc. Which the game shows have been quite funny. We've watched a few of those. But Caravan is definitely worth catching. It's brilliant. It almost is a bit with Sector Soleil style bits to it. It was good.
Yeah, and that we saw Rockumentary last night in the main theatre, which was really good, and we saw the Tree of Life, which is good, and they're all kind of hinged together on popular songs. And the one thing about Rockumentary is they were obviously doing covers of famous rock concerts, but of course the singers were never as good as the originals. But yeah, it was good. Like James said, we never ever sit through those shows normally because we find them too cheesy, but on this ship it's been good, as has been the club, which has become our favourite after dinner place because you can get some interesting drinks there, and there's been some quizzes there that have been a laugh, and we've even taken part in one of the trivia ones and did really badly, but hey, so that's the entertainment's been good. And for us, we've been going to Eden before dinner, going to Blue, which is next door, for dinner, and then going to the club afterwards, and that's sort of suited us really well. In summation, what do you think about this cruise and this ship?
Brilliant. Edge class ships, definitely really lovely ships, very striking designs, and interior is brilliant. Great food, great staff. For a cold winter cruise, perfect having a infinity veranda, because at least you get floor to ceiling windows, so you can open it when you're departing port, and it does make the cabin cold, but close it again and warm up again. I would not hesitate to get back on an Edge class ship again, that's for sure.
Yeah, this has been our first Edge class ship. We've sailed on quite a few of the older celebrity ships, the Solstice ships, which we really like. We're going on another one in September, Millennium. I think the thing about this ship is that in a way they could almost do with designing a ship that was more geared towards colder weather, like when you go to Norway. I mean, it's June and the weather's still pretty cold, because when the ship's sailing at capacity, which we must be nearly at, it gets really crowded inside, because of course no one's, if we were on a sea day today and it was baking hot, everyone would be out by the pool, and that would probably take half or a third of the cruise passengers outside, but instead they're inside. So obviously you've got the solarium pool area, which is inside, which is nice, but otherwise everyone's in that main atrium area, so it does feel really, really busy. But as James said, it's great for people watching. So I think we were saying, I don't know how many cruises we've done, like 5 or 6, but this is our favourite cruise that we've ever done. Even though we've been to some other locations before, we just really enjoyed the quality of the ship and the service from the staff, and how everybody's got a smile on their face. Definitely worth making a note of the staff that have been really helpful, because at the end you get asked to complete a survey. It's almost like doing an appraisal of the people that have been serving you. So we obviously want to recognise those people, and of course entirely up to you, but on our last day we've been giving some tips to our room attendant and the main person who's been serving us in Aqua, or in Blue rather, because they've been so exceptionally good. So we want to make sure that we are recognising and rewarding those people again. Any other thoughts?
Just don't hesitate. Upgrade to the premium drinks package. Look for sales that pop up with Celebrity. You'll get sales on the restaurants, drinks packages, etc.
Yeah, I think definitely look out for a sale because we upgraded during a sale. The only other thing to say, which we said many times before, is that we booked all of our excursions ourselves because they are literally half the price to do exactly the same thing. In fact, sometimes they're even using the same tour provider. So you could be on a bus, for example, with people who bought it through Celebrity and you bought it directly and you're literally paying half the price. So look at Get Your Guide and also look at Viator for excursions. And then I know that the big pull of booking it through the ship is the fact that they guarantee you won't get left behind, but you just need to make sure any excursion you do gets back at least an hour before the ship is due to sail, because this ship has left bang on whatever time it said it was every single day, and so you are going to get left behind. But we've even on our first day, which we went to Bruges, and the ship was leaving at 3 o'clock, and we had to take 2 buses to get to where we were going, we still had tons of time because it's all super organised at the ports. And if you're booking an excursion that gets back an hour or 2 before the ship departs, you really don't have to worry, and it does give you quite a lot of leeway if things should go wrong, like major traffic or the vehicle broke down or something. So we always say book your excursions yourself.
Or also book morning excursions more than afternoon excursions. At least then you've got a big buffer. So if you're doing a half-day tour, do it in the morning. At least then you've got the rest of the afternoon. Maybe chill by the pool or just wander around town or wherever the ship is docked in. At least that takes that little edge off. In the back of your mind, are we going to get back on time? Is the traffic okay, etc.
And another good reason for doing excursions in the morning is because things are not so busy. So a couple of examples of that. When we went to Bruges, you'll have seen in the video that when we first got there, we almost had the place to ourselves. But by mid-morning, it was absolutely heaving with all the tour guides. So we'd managed to see all the things that we wanted to do by that point before it got really busy. So if you're willing to get up and get off the ship pretty quick once it's docked, then do an excursion then, because things will be less busy than if you do it mid-morning, which is what everybody else is doing. So I think to sum it up, this has been a brilliant cruise. We've really enjoyed it. We would definitely do another Apex or Ascent or beyond on an Edge class ship. And we definitely realised that Celebrity is our preferred cruise line because it just suits us. It's not too child friendly because there aren't a lot of things for young kids to do. There's no water slides or any of that stuff. There are the kids clubs, but it means we're sailing during school term, so it means there are not a lot of kids running around, and it's just, and a really mixed age group, I'd say, as well. So it's not full of oldies, it's full of people our age, some people who are younger than ours, and obviously more retired people who are in their 70s and 80s. But we haven't found too much pushing and shoving or rudeness on this cruise, which we definitely found. I don't want to keep being negative about a P&O cruise, but we definitely found that on Iona. People are a lot more polite here, and it's been brilliant. And so we are really sad to be saying goodbye to the Celebrity Apex tomorrow, but we'll be looking forward to our next cruise, which we're doing in September with friends. We're going on the Celebrity Infinity to explore Greece and Turkey, so we are really excited for that. It will be a very different type of trip because it's hopefully going to be warm. This trip hasn't been, we've been lucky with the weather on this trip, especially for the first few ports, but it hasn't exactly been warm. It's been kind of, jacket and jumper type of weather, scarves even on one of the days. So we're looking forward to our September cruise, which will be warm, and we'll be back on the Celebrity on a more traditional ship with a regular kind of balcony. But until then, I hope you enjoyed this video. Do leave a comment if you found some of our tips here useful, or indeed if you've got some tips that we haven't mentioned, do leave a comment. We totally appreciate that these are our own views and not everybody will agree with us. We certainly know that some people absolutely love the Infinity veranda, some people absolutely hate it. Our view is that it worked pretty well for us. So do leave a comment, tell us what you liked about this ship, or another celebrity ship. And of course, make sure you've hit the subscribe button and give us a thumbs up, because that helps the algorithm show this video to more people, and obviously we want to help more people prepare for their fantastic cruise. But until next time, we'll see you when we head out on the road again.